Boom! Salutations. This is one of those fast blasts that's going to kind of entail something that I was told by some other people had experienced. They gave me an interest in something, all right? And the little people, this is the subject of the little people. And this would involve somebody that actually I used to work with that has long since passed on a few years ago. But a very interesting gentleman by the name of Travis that was a Chickasaw Indian, full-blooded Chickasaw Indian. He worked for me on my third shift for years, all right? So a very interesting individual. And he was the first person to tell me of an encounter with these legend people, an encounter with these little people that I had read about, and heard about before, but not such a detailed account. And what he had described is in the Oklahoma mountains, he had his uncle or his grandpa had some type of a ranch up there, and so some of the interactions he had up there, but he had claimed that he had interacted with these little people and he talked to them. Now, what's fascinating about this, when he describes this to me, all right, is he's saying he had seen these little people and he got in trouble for talking to them by his grandfather. And so I asked him, I say, Travis, well, what did they look like? And he described them being just a little less than knee-high, wearing older Native American garb, and it was something he says to me, he says, Barry, they had on war paint. I said, really? He said, yeah, they had on war paint. They looked like very old Indians. And they were trying to, they were talking to me, and I got in trouble for talking to them because my grandfather in the legend says that what they do is they steal children. The little people steal children. And conversely, or with that, the other person I know that I worked with for a while was a therapist. They started telling me that they had, they had a family that collected minerals and gems and had a shop. And so she would often go during her summers or whatever to collect at mines and different places like that. And she had described one time being on a trail that involved and being approached by these little people, some of them being almost, she said they were almost like spirits, but they weren't. She said they were physical, and that they kept approaching her and trying to get her to leave the trail. And she told me, I wouldn't leave the trail because I was taught as a kid, you leave that trail, you get lost. And that's just kind of tying into what Travis had also said and what I've heard. And when you start looking into this and researching the little people, you'll find like a lot of links. Like if you get on YouTube, there's that gentleman, he's Native American from Alaska, but he's done just a ton of videos on them. And you hear about all these different descriptions about little people all over the world, even going like to Findhorn, I think it is, and how some of them look like elves, some of them look like miners, some of them look like pioneers and things of that nature. Some of them look Native American, some of them look like dwarfs. You just got these different types that keep being reported all over, and that takes us kind of into like Mac Tooney's book, The Crypto-Terrestrials. I did a video over that, and what he had kind of said, the gentleman that passed, he died right after he wrote that book, but he had claimed the crypto-terrestrials are beings like that and other ones that lived here on Earth right beside us, and kind of just get pushed into folklore and things like that, and are experts at eluding humanity and using things like extraterrestrial contact and looking out into space, opposed to looking right here, looking into sea and looking in weird places on this planet. So anyway, that's just food for thought on this, definitely. When looking at this historically, what science is showing us and what science has discovered, there's ones, I'll put some pictures up on this, of Homo florensis, if I'm pronouncing that correct. And that's a type of almost hobbit-looking humanoid that was discovered en masse. There's quite a few of them discovered, I believe. So that's one thing, so that kind of changes things evolutionarily, what we know about some things. And you've got the pygmy, you've got other species of humans that are smaller. So how far does that go? Like, I'll put up a couple pictures of my favorite video of one of my favorite episodes of the Twilight Zones. It's called The Little People. It's where the dude starts going crazy on that planet that they land on, and he's stepping on these little people and stuff, and they're like the size of just a little bigger than ants. And he's trying to pretend like he's some sort of god. And then all of a sudden another ship crashes, and these beings that walk up, these humanoids, are like the size of small mountains. And they kind of pick him up and crush him. It's kind of a good episode if you get to see it. Anyway, wrapping that up, that's mostly what I wanted to kind of touch on. A few things of here. Look into little people yourself, especially Native American stories of them from several different tribes. It's fascinating. See if you talk to anybody that might have seen one or encountered one. Have you? Put a comment down there. Talk about it. And that's what this platform is for. Appreciate you all. Please subscribe. Please press the like button. Share the video if you could. And much appreciation to the Patreon people to keep these going, and for them wanting me to put these videos out, and a lot of them on YouTube. So I will talk to you soon. Peace. Much energy.